Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and we now have the full details of the patch notes for the update that's going to be pushed out later tonight. So I'm talking in about 7 or 8 hours. It's going to be pushed out in waves, so some players may get it before others. So just keep an eye out for that. You're not going to have to like re-download the whole game, but you'll be prompted when you log into the game to just download a small patch. It'll be like whatever, 50, 100 megabytes. And so if you want to get it right away, just make sure that you maybe close your device and close your game, your app, not your device. But close the app and then reopen it around that time frame, and it tells you the time frame down here, which is tonight at 8 p.m. PST, which is 11 p.m. for me, and then might be earlier or later for you depending on your time zone. So let's take a look at these patch notes. But before we do, I just want to say that I think some people watching are hoping for me to roast Marvel Future Fight, and I don't want to disappoint you, but I also don't want to mislead you, because there are a lot of good things in these patch notes. And I feel like, unfortunately, the boycott having dragged on for so long, we're almost 2 months straight of boycotting, has left some people with a mindset of just hate. You know how there's that saying, like, you know, take off your rose-colored glasses because you're seeing everything through these rose-colored lenses, or these rose-tinted lenses, and everything looks lovely and everyone looks lovely. Well, it's sort of the opposite. It's like your hate-tinted lenses, and I'm guilty of that as well. At least, you know, in other times or earlier in the boycott or whatever. But I'm not really at that point anymore. Some people will say that I'm getting soft on the boycott, or I've given up on the boycott, or I just want to spend and I'm tired of being free to play. And maybe all of those things have a little bit of truth to them. But I've always tried to be honest with you guys, and I've always tried to be fair about the game. The game is not perfect by any means. Have they done everything that we want them to do? No. But are all the changes bad? No. A lot of the changes are good, and some of the changes actually exceed my expectations. And exceeding my expectations is rare for mobile games to do, and it's rare for Marvel Future Fight to do. So you got to take the good with the bad. And so I just want to let you guys know, and I just want to put that out there because I haven't really said that recently in a video, and I feel like some people are just expecting hate, and it's just not the case. So let's take it out. So we got the new uniforms for White Fox and Groot. We can see the icons there, what they look like. Groot is going to be sold for 1,750 crystals. He will not be discounted, so they're doing the same thing that they did with Cable's holiday uniform, where they're just going to put it at full price, which is a bummer, but it is what it is. So yeah, I don't know if I'm going to pick this one up. I kind of want to, because I really like holiday uniforms. Like, I like them even more than I like summertime uniforms. Like, Cable's uniform was cool, but it wasn't quite thematic enough for me. But like a Halloween or a Christmas themed uniform for me is really cool. But we'll have to see how strong Groot's is, because right now, based on his skills, he doesn't look that strong. And also based on his skills, it seems like he doesn't have a group heal anymore. So this may have been a mistake on the devs' part to take away Baby Groot's best aspect, which was that you could put him as a striker, especially for World Boss Null, which is going to become like the #1 boss to play. You could put him as a striker, and he can heal your team like Venom can. There's very few characters in the game that can heal, and giving Groot a whole whack of damage but taking away the heal will take away what I think is the easiest selling point. If they had just bumped up his healing and maybe changed his skill from when attacked to when attacking and healing you, then it would have been probably a must-buy for everyone, but now it's sort of on the fence. The White Fox uniform is going to be for 30 tokens. They call them beads, but they're tokens. So this is the exact same price as it was for Gwenpool. It's going to cost you around $20, $20 to $30 worth of in-game purchases. You're going to get other things with those purchases, and you're going to get tokens, and then you will be able to trade those tokens, swap those tokens after the patch for her uniform. There is also a list here where you can see exactly what is in the shop, what is in the token shop. So there is her uniform actually in a better view. It looks pretty cool, to be honest with you. I kind of want to buy it. I'm not going to say I will buy it, but I'm already being tempted by the cool design team. It just looks dope. She looks fresh as hell. So there we go. It's 30. Unfortunately, my hopes for them discounting this uniform and making it crystals were squashed, were smashed. So yes, if you want to pick up the Gwenpool uniform, it's going to be the same process as it was last year. You're going to have to spend about $20 to $30 of in-game money in game in order to get tokens. And then there's just a bunch of stuff here that's like way overpriced. Nobody ever gets this stuff. It's just, it costs way too many tokens. This is like a worse version of Black Friday, but whatever. Whales are going to whale, right? These things exist because there are some people out there who just have infinite money. And so they can spend infinite money in this game, and the game stays free to play for longer for more players. So, whoever's going to buy these, thank you for giving us the opportunity to play this game by spending less money or spending no money rather than, having to all spend money. There is also a login event. Let me touch on this quickly here. There's a login event. There's Groot's uniform, so we've seen them both now. And so these uniforms are going to be on sale. Sale. These old uniforms are going to be on sale. Now, this one is also not discounted enough. I think some people are going to be upset about this, but again, it is what it is. Like, I guess they're just not making enough money with the game. I don't know what to tell you. So basically, last year we got a discount where it was $10.50. Like, it was 40% off. So this uniform was this price, but then it was discounted to $10.50 because of the 40% discount, and then it was further discounted to $600 if you had purchased the Lady Deadpool uniform. So if you had purchased this one, which had been released like a month earlier, you got this one for $610. Now, to be honest with you, I paid $1,000 for this uniform. I'm sorry, I paid $1,000 for this uniform, and I literally never use it. So sorry about that. So the fact that people, like, I don't really understand why people are upset. If you do the math, right? I paid $1,000 for this one, and then I paid $600 for this one. So I basically paid close to 1,700 crystals for both. You basically have the exact same choice. You can just skip that other uniform and buy this one for $1,750. So you're basically paying the same price that I paid. Yeah, I got an extra uniform that I never used, and that I also ranked up to Mythic. And I wasted all those materials, all that black antimatter, all those uniform XP chips. So if I could go back in time and refund this uniform and save those resources and pay the same crystal cost, I probably would. Now, I don't know off the top of my head if this uniform is used for any optionals, but it's really not as bad as some people are making it out to be. And that sort of goes in line with what I said before about how I feel like some people are just hate, and they're not actually looking and logically thinking about what is actually going on. So this is really not that big of a deal. This one's a little bit more annoying, to be honest with you, but we already saw it with Cable, so we kind of had it coming. We have the holiday 7-day check-in event. This is actually good. They're giving everybody 30 awakening crystals, which is nice. They're giving everybody 10 beads on the 7th day, which is why you don't have to spend more. That's why I said spend about $20, 20 to 30. 30 if you want to get her uniform right away on the first day. Otherwise, you just spend 20 and you can get it on the 7th day because you get 10 for free, so it saves you a bit of money. And then they're giving everyone, regardless, they're giving everyone 50 White Fox biometrics. So this is cool. You can get a free 2-star White Fox. And it means that if you start the White Fox heroic quest, that gives you 440 bios. If you use a mega rank up ticket, the 440 bios plus the 50 could give you, basically it guarantees you a tier 2 White Fox just by using a mega rank up ticket. So that's really, really nice. You might be able to cheapen it even more by using like 4 and 5-star rank up tickets and then using these 50 bios towards the 6-star rank up. So yeah, this is pretty nice. We have CTP reforging super chance. This is garbage. It's going up from 7 to 14%. Honestly, it should go from 50% to 75%. That's really where it should be. But again, this is not for us. This is for mega whales. I'm not going to complain about this. Every game has to have this kind of stuff. I know I said we wanted to take it out completely, but they're not going to take it out, right? We're 2 months in. It's not happening, guys. We're not going to, we can't control the company. So every game has garbage like this. Every game has like crazy purchases that you're like, who does this? There are people out there, and they bankroll the game. They fund the game for everybody else to play for free or to play, very cheaply. So I don't want to fight the tide anymore. I'm kind of tired of fighting the tide. We got these World Boss Dimension missions coming up, or whatever they're called. We have a gold spending mission, which I've already burned through because of Molecule Man, and then we have an energy bonus mission. So lots of free stuff, which is nice. We have Odin's Blessings Chance Up. This is actually pretty good if you have some excess garbage Mythic Uru, like recovery rate or physical energy defense. And then we have some gifts here. This should really be like 5 times or 10 times, not 1 time, but it is what it is. We have character ranking for Moonstone and Scorpion, and Moonstone is going to be getting her awakening. So if we go back here, I sort of stopped reading the patch notes to tell you guys all that stuff here, but Gwenpool is getting her awakening, or getting her potential finally, so you can take Gwenpool to level 70, which should be cool. And then we have Moonstone getting her awakening, which she can already one-shot Moonstone can already one-shot level 99 Cull Obsidian with a CTP of energy. So Moonstone is probably going to be one of the best characters to awaken in the game now because of how insane her damage is going to be and how insane, like, she's basically going to be like Beta Ray Bill Volume 2. So if you don't want to do the epic quest, but you want an energy damage character who can one-shot with their awakening skill, right there. Now you sort of have to look at the trade-off, right? The epic quest, you have to trade 640 CCF, all the tier 3 materials, all the tier 2 materials. You're given a tier 3 Starlord and a Beta Ray Bill. On this flip side here, you don't spend any CCF, just the CCF for her awakening, which is like 240. You do spend 6,600 crystals. You get 1,500 back. But yeah, I honestly think Moonstone is going to be like Beta Ray Bill. Maybe not as defensive as Beta Ray Bill because he has that heal, but offensively, she looks like Beta Ray Bill or better. I don't know if Beta Ray Bill could one-shot stage 99 without his awakening. No, he can't. So she might be better than Beta Ray Bill. So this is pretty nuts. And she's perfect for 2 weeks, 2 months of ABX because she has burn here on this skill, and then she has silence on her passive. She's only missing paralysis. So insane value character here, insane power level character. Molecule Man is getting his tier 3, and I have to say, guys, look at this tier 3 skill. If you're going to tell me that this is not a cool tier 3 skill, come on. This is hella dope. What is this called? Universal Manifestation. Yup. So this is pretty insane. When I saw this, I basically decided that I had to get Molecule Man. So forgive me for those of you that will be offended by this. I know some of you out there will be, but I used 2 mega tier 2 tickets. I'm down to 1, and I got Dakin and Ares immediately to tier 2. And now I have my 1-star Molecule Man. I'll make a follow-up video where I rank him up so you guys can see just how insane the cost is. My gold is probably going to dip under 100 million for the first time in 2 years. So that should be a pretty cool milestone to witness in a video. It's been like 2 years straight where I've had over 200, 300 million gold. But Molecule Man is just too insane and too cool to pass up. And now his tier 3. Not only does his tier 3 have a skill with time freeze, remove buffs, immunity, paralysis, ignore immunity. It has a crazy all attack buff, all defense buff for 20 seconds. So his attack more than doubles for 20 seconds. That's insane. This is just This is just like the craziest power spike, the craziest power creep. And then his passive, here's the thing. People were making fun of his tier 2 passive because it didn't make any sense. If you look at his tier 2 passive, that's not his tier 2 passive. If you look at his tier 2 passive, it applies to self, only to him, and it decreases the effect of Reflect, which means that Reflect doesn't work as well against him. So instead of Silver Surfer reflecting 30,000 damage, he would only reflect 15,000 damage, right? Because it's half. And then it would reflect physical reflect. But Molecule Man doesn't do any physical damage. All of his skills deal energy damage. So people were really confused. They're like, why is it only physical? Well, guess what happens when you get Molecule Man to tier 3? Remember how you have tier 1 characters that their tier 2 passive increases? Like, for example, Colossus. At tier 1, his passive only applies to himself. But then at tier 2, it applies to all allies. Now they've taken it a step further, and instead of being a tier 1 to tier 2 passive increase, it's a tier 2 to tier 3 passive increase. So his passive, drink every time I say passive, has increased. Instead of applying to self, it's now going to apply to all allies. This is insanely powerful. It's going to still decrease the effect of Reflect, but it's going to reflect physical and energy reflect. So Silver Surfer is going to take damage. Silver Surfer is going to take his own reflect damage when you hit him. That's mind-blowing. So he immediately becomes a possible counter for both Silver Surfer and Colossus. Yeah, this is what meta breaking looks like. This is what meta breaking looks like. And now, I understand that some of you guys are going to be upset because the characters that you invested in are now being, replaced by new characters. But that's the way it goes, right? The game is not going to survive if they continue bringing out boring characters that are not good, right? You got to realize this is basically how all games work, right? You're not going to play a patch in Call of Duty if they introduce a gun that's weaker than all of the other guns. It has to be stronger, or it has to provide a counter in some way. I'm not saying that Molecule Man is going to be hands down the best character in the game for PvP and there's no counter whatsoever. We haven't even seen him in action. He may be counterable with certain characters, you know, but you and I, we lived through Jean Grey. We lived through the Jean Grey era, where Jean Grey was hands down the best character in the game for all content. Molecule Man doesn't seem to be the best character in the game for PvE content. He may not even be the best character in the game for PvP content. That still might be Sentry, right? But, you know, I think it's better that characters are stronger than for them to release characters that are weaker. Because if they bring characters that are weaker, not only is it going to be boring for us, there's nothing new, and it's also going to make them less money so that the game is more in jeopardy of you know, shutting down or whatever. So if I have to choose between those two scenarios, I'd rather they power creep. I would rather they power creep. And to be honest, I'm kind of glad to see Jean Grey go. I'm tired of Jean Grey. I was so happy when we got counters to Jean Grey, whether it was Black Widow, whether it was this character or that character, you know. So to me, honestly, I'm not that pressed about this. Molecule Man doesn't have ignore targeting on any of his skills. So for example, Molecule Man. So for example, you may be able to counter him easily with Black Widow, just for example. So again, before you go into rage mode, before you start rioting or panicking that you're never going to win in PvP again anymore because you don't have Molecule Man, stuff like that, we have to wait and see. But it's better that we're getting new spicy stuff than we're getting boring stuff that no one's going to want to play with anyways, right? So yeah, that's sort of my take on it. And personally, I'm a little bit biased because I love Molecule Man in the comics. He's super cool. Owen Reese is a mega badass, fractured human being. Not quite human, but anyways. And yeah, his tier 3 skill, guys, that looks so cool. I love the cosmic shit. I love the dimensional shit. I love all this stuff, reality manipulation. This is like Scarlet Witch on steroids. This is awesome. So I'm pretty hyped for that. And then, surprisingly, they're improving Sentry. Now, again, here is where I think people are going to expect me to just disintegrate Marvel Future Fight, and unfortunately, that's not my reaction. So they are adding ignore targeting to his 5th skill. So Sentry is going to become even more of a problem in PvP because not only does his 1st skill ignore iframe, his 5th skill will now ignore iframe. So yeah, he was a nightmare before. He's going to become more of a nightmare. On top of that, they're increasing his damage reduction by an additional 5%. So he's going to become even tankier. And then they're adding a buff, an all attack, all defense. It's really just an all attack buff because it's 1% defense and speed. But they're adding a 20 second all attack buff by 50%, which basically means he's going to have 50% all attack up for the entire fight, for like world boss and stuff like that. So he's gonna his damage is gonna spike even higher. Like he could do stage 1 null with an obelisk. He might be able to go higher, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, stage 5 with an obelisk. And then they're also giving him minus 80 all defense down instead of minus 70. So yeah, stage 99 with an obelisk, easy peasy. Now that he has minus 80, like Holiday Lady Deadpool, slap on a debuff lead, and he is going to incinerate. He is going to 1,000 Sun Crush or Crash like the world boss. It's going to be just a bloodbath. And some people are upset about this. They're like, why did they have to make Sentry more powerful? This is BS. Why didn't they make him weaker and take away the CCF from his gears? Okay, the CCF from his gears is still bad, but I think that they're making the right decision. Rather than making Sentry worse and taking away the CCF, they are improving the CCF drops and making Sentry better. That's the way. It's better to buff stuff and buff rewards than it is to nerf stuff. It's always better to buff instead of nerfing. And in the game, although they're very slow with buffs, this time they actually did a good job. So what am I talking about here? If you scroll down further, World Boss Null. Previously, for the last week or two, World Boss Null was dropping 2 to 4 guaranteed CCF, and I confirmed that on stream multiple times. I played him twice when he was not my World Boss of the day, and you still get 2 to 4 CCF. So even if he was not your World Boss of the day, you would still get 2 to 4 CCF, okay? So even though, whatever, Quicksilver is my World Boss of the day, it doesn't matter. I can play Null, and he'll give me 2 to 4 guaranteed CCF. That's not a lot. That's not a lot. I would get like 10 to 15 CCF by playing him, which is a joke. 10 to 15 CCF in one day. They're changing it to 15 to 40 guaranteed CCF. That's a lot, dude. Starting at 15 is what is it. That's what I guessed. That's what I suggested in my video a couple days ago. So they took that idea and they actually made it even higher. 40 is even higher. I had it 15 to 25. 15 CCF means that even if Null is not your world boss of the day, you can get 75 CCF per day. Every single day. A minimum of 75 CCF. So even if you don't get any other CCF from Null, and even if Null is never your world boss of the day 30 times in a row, that means you're still getting 2,250 CCF per month, which is almost enough to automatically get Sentry and finish the entire epic quest as far as CCF goes. Not necessarily Essence of Dimension and Titan component packs, but CCF. So in my opinion, this is a huge buff. They're also adding a chance to drop mighty CTPs of energy, specifically. Again, we don't know what the chances for that. I'm not a big fan of this, like, you know, 0.000001% chance, but it's better than nothing. The amount of obtainable CTP reforging core has been increased. I don't care about that. We don't care about that. So yeah, I really like this change. I think this is a fantastic change. I think that the hardest content in the game should have the best rewards, and that's what we're seeing. So I've been saying this for months. Months ago, I was saying there's no hard content in the game, and the hardest content in the game doesn't give you the best rewards, right? Now the hardest content in the game does give you the best rewards. So they sort of fixed that. Have they gone far enough, in my opinion? No, they haven't. Does that mean that I have to hate everything because they haven't done everything we asked? No, right? I can really appreciate this. And hopefully, if the devs see that we appreciate this, they will continue this, because what they need to do now, they just need to do 2 more things to fix world boss farming. They need to take this 2 to 4 CCF and they need to add it to all of the other bosses. So even though you're only going to get a little bit of CCF, it's better than nothing. And it will help players build up to Null faster, because that's where everyone is going now. Because of that 15 CCF, if you're still thinking you're not going to play Null, you're insane. You better be gearing up to play Null, bro, because this is not something you can miss, bro. This is an insane amount of CCF to be passing up. So yeah, you could probably farm close to 3,000 CCF a month or more if you play Null 30 times. It might get a little bit boring, right, after months and months and months, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So all they need to do now for world boss is they need to take these cosmic cube fragments and put them in the other world bosses, and then they need to increase TCP, Titan component packs, because that is the one thing that they've neglected. When Null is your world boss of the day, you get additional Essence of Dimension. So I get about 150 Essence of Dimension. I'm still only getting 100 Titan component packs. So I'm actually getting more CCF and more Essence of Dimension than Titan component packs. I know some of you out there have more Titan component packs. I don't know how the hell that happened, but for most players, it looks something like this. I have double the CCF compared to Titan component packs. So what they need to do is they need to increase the Titan component packs in World Boss, in all of the world bosses. Another thing they can do, we need to get, you know how there's a shield update? You know how there's supposed to be a shield update for the story? Okay, this one right here, okay? When you listen, Marvel Future Fight, you guys, this is a pretty good patch, okay? When you guys do this, you need to update the shield lab, okay? Update the shield lab, increase the amount of antimatter that we can get, take that 600,000 cap off, or double it, make it 1 million, okay? And then you need to add another line here. There's rank up material, consumable, upgrade material. You need to add another one, okay? Superior material, or like rare material. And you need to let us craft tier 3 materials. You let us craft, you already let us craft tier 2 materials, okay? Let us craft tier 3 materials. Let me trade, okay? Let me trade 1-to-1 or whatever. Let me trade some of this for some of this, okay? Why not? Why not? Let me craft CCF. Why not? Let me craft these books. Why not? What? It doesn't hurt anybody. Give us the opportunity to exchange our materials so that we can balance out our accounts. because some people have been sitting on 10 speed books forever and we have nothing to do with them. I've had 10 speed books for like 6 months. So I could have crafted those into universal books, right? I could have taken 2 speed books and crafted it into 1 universal book. I'm fine doing that. I don't mind doing that. I would love to do that. So give us that chance, okay? Oi, always yelling. All right. And then there's some game error fixes. So yeah, pretty cool. So personally, I like this patch. It's not perfect, but it's got a lot of content. It's got a lot of upgrades to characters, and it's got reward improvements. These are the kinds of things we need to be celebrating. Is everything free? No. Are they improving all of the rewards across the game in one sweeping update? No. But are they listening on some level? And are they giving us some pretty impressive rewards? Yeah, they are. That's just an immutable fact. So I really hope they take this idea and they take this and they run with it and they just keep improving the rewards. Please, you're so close, and then everyone will be happy. So yeah, hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think. I am expecting some backlash, but please try to understand what I'm saying and my opinion and all that stuff. You don't have to agree with me. The game may not be fun for you, but me playing Null with these characters, it is actually really fun for me. And you can stop by the stream and you can watch. I die, I learn things, I get better at it. It's fun. It's a learning experience, and that's why I play this game, right? To play with Marvel characters and to be challenged, and that's what I'm getting with Null. So I'm chilling. I'm big chilling on that. I'm happy with it, and I hope they come out with another Null in a few months. I hope we get World Boss Legend Annihilus or something. I don't know. I'm down for more World Boss Legends. Anywho, hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tonight on Twitch. Take care.